Ready to haul some stuff off to the scrapyard when I thought I would shoot a real quick video referring to the 2000 or 2008 Chevy Silverado Z71 four-wheel drives that have the pump knock, which is in the transfer case, which causes a hole in the case, causes you to leak out all your transmission or transfer case fluid and destroys your transfer case. I was lucky enough to catch mine as I was driving across country from California to North Carolina. I was around Oklahoma when I noticed some oil on the back of my tailgate. Crawled underneath and it was wet all the way back from the transfer case. First thing I did was check the plugs, went around and tried tightening up the bolts all the way around the case. That didn't stop it. End up going to a transmission shop, and the guy explained to me where it was leaking, so I crawled under there, cleaned it up, found a little tiny pinhole, and just to get me to North Carolina and back, I used some basically aluminum epoxy, and it held up. It worked, and I was going to leave it alone until I talked to some other people that says you got to fix it right, or else it's going to, keep banging a hole in there, and it's going to go right through the epoxy. So I went and I bought a back half the case with a pump saver. You can find those online all over the place, but I do recommend getting a good magnesium back half, because it's just, the case is magnesium, tail shaft should be magnesium. There's some aluminum ones out there apparently, but are cheaper and they'll leak. But for $250, got a complete kit. The back half, the seals, the pump saver, new bearing was installed. But let me show you what it was doing here. Set up here against this little 289 block. You can see how the epoxy had pushed through, and it was already starting to cut through the epoxy. That's the one that leaks real bad because of where it's at when the transmission, how the transfer case is sitting. All the other ones are just about ready to cut through too. They wouldn't leak as bad. That's the one that's really bad. But eventually it's going to cut through all of them. You'll be driving down the road, and before you know it, your quart and a half of special, what was that, Auto Track 3 or Auto Track 2 transmission fluid or transfer case fluid leaks out, and you fry your entire transfer case and has to be replaced. I was lucky enough to catch it in time, and for around, it was $300 by the time I was done. But I replaced all my U-joints and, serviced the truck, did everything while I had it up in the air. Might as well, right? But this is off to the scrapyard, and I just want to take a little video of it to show those of you who are having the problem exactly what to look for. And if you just need to get from point A to point B, sand it down, dry it off, rough it up with some sandpaper, and use some really good epoxy, and it'll hold for a while, but it is not a permanent fix, as you can see from the inside. So, all right, keep on trucking.